tune over to the other new link, and we'll continue the show. Uh, okay. Um, SB, is everything all right now? Can you hear me all right, Peter?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. I know, I know people probably, tuned in the Dog Pound for us to talk about boxing, but I'm so intrigued by the work you do, and I've watched you for so long, and watched your growth spiritually, as uh, especially spiritually, uh, because I remember you as that young man, that raw young man that came to New York, and made your bones, and lived up to you made your mistakes. You lived up to your mistakes, and you found God, and you became a family man, and you made this transition. It's not an easy transition because a lot of the friends or associates that you had earlier in your career are gone. And uh, uh, so when you try to follow your own path, how difficult was it when you look back upon it, and you look back upon your journey to this point?
All right, what I would tell you to keep it straight up, I want you to take these words really dear to your heart. I knew at the very moments when I was in those moments that it was lonely on the top. Not many people, I used to hear people tell me what I needed to do as a boxer. I'm like, you never really accomplished and did nothing in your life for you to be telling what I need to do as a fighter. I'm going there and put my life on the line. How dare you tell me what I need? Why you didn't go to college and get a degree? Why you drop out of school? Why you working at a 9 to 5 or at a job that you hate? Like, I had to hear a lot of conversation like that that it used to I could see why they say it's lonely on the top. So in the moments I had this analogy that basically that most people live on the bottom of a mountain. It's okay. Mostly people live at the bottom of the mountain. Some people had the guts to say, I don't want to live here no more. They go up half the mountain. They say, you know what? I'm cool with going right here. I'm not going up to the top. But the ones that's willing to go to the top, when they get to the top, it's very lonely and cold, and you always misunderstood. And you got important people. Most importantly, you got people from the bottom, right? Usually throwing rocks to knock you down off the top, right? Sometimes they ain't knocking you down, throwing rocks to knock you out of the. It's just that you misunderstood now. Like they don't understand why you had the guts to go do that, why you decided to do that, why you want to sit on top. That he think he better than me. There's so many different logics out there that I just gave up on trying to answer people's evil for them. So I basically just said, hey, you know what I mean? This whole purpose that I took and this journey I took was beautiful. They don't understand. Like I'm damaged goods to them, but for me, I didn't been glorified with God to tell you I'm winning that life every day. I'm one of 9 children, one of 9 blood siblings to get married and got my kids all with the same woman. I don't have no kids out of wedlock. People be like, why you say that all the time? Why you trying to boast? I said, no, I'm boasting because I broke chains that was on my family forever. That basically, I made decisions to make decisions that's gonna, value my family, value my children, give legacy and inheritance to my kids. It's a blessing because I didn't receive those things. I received debts. I had a phone bill in my name when I was 3 years old. Come on, you know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the water bill, the phone bill, the electric
Yep,
bill.
yep. So
you
you
know,
know. So you know.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, sir. And being truthful, I got to admit, I did the same thing
Yes,
when
man.
I grew up. Hey,
Yep.
you know, uh, credit got bad. Okay, well, use the kid's name.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, and then the kids grow up. Daddy, why is I got a bad credit score? Well,
Yep.
that's another
Sorry.
conversation,
I'm
you
sorry.
know. But I'm so glad that you were able to find uh, uh, I would say an even more successful path. It might not have been in monetary value, but I can say that you look happier now than you did much earlier in your life. You look content and like you're at peace.
You want to hear something? I got purpose. I'm standing close to the Savior. I used to be the kid with problems, with bad behavior. Listen to the details in my testimony. The powers in my words. I'm the master with the ceremony. Everybody around me is who I pray about. It's God's plan. I'm watching how it's playing out. See the blessings without a doubt. Love God with your whole heart, or it doesn't count. So what I would tell you is like I'm a man that's actually getting to look at myself in the mirror and being okay with the person I see. So a lot of people are dead bones inside. They can't even look themselves and be happy with the person they see in the mirror. And that's how I check myself and check my life. Go to the mirror. Are you happy with the person you see, Pete? You know what? Yes, I am. You know what was one of my goals in boxing is like to come out the sport to be able to have a positive and a grown up conversation with my son. And I'm thanking God every day that I feel like I got my noodles together and I'm still able to comprehend and grasp life in the way that I do, that I still got more to accomplish.
Um, Speaking of family, and I know that's something that's very close to you and something that you cherish. Um, how has this part of your life also made you closer with your family?
Well, say growing up, I never remember my mom ever saying, "Son, I love you. I'm proud of you." I never heard my mom ever say those words. Maybe my mom was hurt herself and she didn't feel like she had the knowledge of that. So I don't knock her. I didn't forgive her for all that. But I didn't take my bad examples to make them worse. I basically took my bad examples that was said to me and made them better by repaying myself such a horrible childhood in a way where I was able to learn and tell myself what I wanted to be for my children. I give my kids hugs every day. I tell them I love them. We have big conversations telling them about all the stuff. When George Floyd, I didn't show my kids. I thought it was like, people wouldn't agree with me doing that, but I said, I'm not hiding my kids' mind at the things that happen for them. And they have to be worried one day, and I'm enlightening them on knowledge about the world. So I'm not keeping them in the dark about anything. I'm telling them, and I don't live in a way behind the scenes that I want my son to idolize and grow. I want to be the man that my daughter is going to want to home and say, Dad, you gave me a big, good example on what kind of man I should be with. Try to show her that she need to be how she need to be treated by the way I treat her mother. I'm married to her mother. I'm gonna teach her what marriage is and how a family unit, how a real man is. I taught her today when she come from school and I had to pick her up. I said, "Let me carry your bag like a gentleman." She said, "I said, what's a gentleman?" She said, "I said, you know what a gentleman is?" She said, "No, I don't." I said, "A gentleman is like a man with his heart willing to do things for you and show you he's willing to help you and stuff like that. That's what dad is trying to set you example to do." So for me, I think that's me paying myself back from the childhood. And hey, it might not be the best way, and my kids might have problems with the way that I'm doing things. But I only can know I'm only able to try, and I use this as a motivation to live every day.
Well, that's about all you can do is hope. That you're a good example, and in your case, you've always led by example rather than by just word of mouth. Um, but let's talk a little boxing. What did you think of this week's fight, Ugas against Earl Spence?
Well, I seen Errol Spence in the Olympic Training Center, and I knew he had a different mind, and it was too much, yeah, nothing but respect. So, it was hard to watch the fight because I'm Cuban. I'm my father's first son in the United States. Yo soy el primero hijo de mi padre vivo para allá. Yo tengo mucha familia viva ahí en Cuba. So cuando yo miro a un cubano pelear con la gente de para allá, I feel like my heart is too involved with seeing a Cuban, a black Cuban, which a black Cuban is special because People don't understand how like the African slave trade, how it went through the Caribbean, then it came up here. So when you see a black Cuban who look at themselves as Cuban, it's almost kind of confusing to see somebody being a Spanish European mixed with like a black African that's from Africa. All that black skin come from Africa, but everybody's story is so different. And what we got to see is like two different black people fighting for opportunity. And why is it so important to see this? You know, we got a lot of things in Cuba happening where you see the government being the way that it is. When you see people fight and be willing to fight for opportunity, I think this will make this country great. Is that people are able to make an opportunity for themselves and capitalize on that opportunity.
Do you think, I mean, yeah, I come from the era, of course, with the great Telfield, Stevenson, and all
Yep.
those, those guys. Uh, has the boxing community in Cuba expanded more to the United States? I mean, you see not well. If I say boxing, I guess I also have to include baseball. I mean, that's also the other favorite pastime in Cuba, and you see a lot of Cuban boxers and Cuban baseball players now coming to the United States. But is it different for Cuba for a Cuban when national when he comes over here? How much different is that sense of freedom and community over here?
Um, Two things can happen with freedom, right? It can be justified or it can be perverted. Meaning, like somebody can come over here and have too much freedom to do the most evilest things. My dad came over here was like a big drug dealer. He came over here to be a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? So you left communist country to be a drug dealer over here. What sense does that make? But to each his own. It's a story. So that's my story. What I think is the most important thing is that when we get to see people come to a country where they didn't have opportunity in their own country to be able to provide and be coming to make money to have a dream to do big things. I think it's very important that we see people that capitalize on it. And I think Ugas did with what he's done in a career. But also would say yeah, yeah. I don't think you see Cubans coming over here and being like handed fighters. I think you see a lot of people fleeing Cuba and being able to come over here. It's a lot of a road of people who basically is going through the underground, escaping out of Cuba and getting over here to become a professional fighter. I think they just now made it so that they have professional boxers in Cuba. And I seen somebody post it, and I thought it was a great thing. But a lot of people, and usually it's like Cubans that say they still gonna pay Fidel Castro. I said, so you want a person to be in a country where their story is never heard, rather than getting their story out there? Because once you be able to see stories being never heard, you have no other choice that the world is rallying for those people to see people coming to the knowledge of being able to get opportunity, and we seeing things change all the time. So nothing is going to change without a big, powerful voice, and we need more people to have a voice to be able to speak on things that's happening that's unjust in the world. So that's what I would say.
Uh, so, what do you think, or supposedly the next fight is Earl Spence against the man, Bud. If you were fighting Bud, what would your strategy be?
I think those kind of special fighters, it's you can have one strategy, but those kind of guys got so many different variations to their skills that it would be hard to not to be able to train one way with them and get in and think that a person is going to fight that way. They might fight totally different. I think the best way you can get up in there with a fighter is to learn them right there in that ring in that moment with them, because the moment is going to provide so much for that person that you just got to adjust. That's what made Floyd Mayweather such a great fighter, that he wanted to adjust to any fighter that he fought. So guys like Errol Spence and Bud, you can't just go on up in there with a superb strategy and think that's going to win. You got to go up in there and give your heart and learn that guy right there in that square circle.
And you mentioned that you had seen Bud long ago. What is your evaluation of Bud and how much he's grown?
Yeah, I think he's a fighter that we haven't seen. He's one of those throwback cutthroat fighters from the time when you used to box. I think that's important to see those kind of fighters like that in our era because we've seen such a change happen with boxing that the rock stars of the sport was like Sugar Ray Robinson in the 50s when he was able to walk and people were recognizing we need to get back to that point by having that old cutthroat kind of look. And I think Bud is one of those guys.
And now Earl, I would kind of call the baby face assassin because you look at Earl. Earl looks like he could be a college student anywhere. He doesn't really look. He doesn't really fit that profile of what we used to think of as a fighter with the cauliflower ears or the big nose, the broken nose. What's your assessment of Errol on the other side of the ring if you were facing him?
I believe Errol Spence is a superstar, bona fide superstar. His the way his fighting style is and his story that he's got building for him is driving him to be the superstar of the sport. So if he keep going at it the way he's going, with the competency that he got, the more crosswords that he had that he knocks him down, the more we see him being a superstar of the sport and being a face, especially for black fighters in America and across the world.
Uh, what about Canelo? You've seen Canelo, all the way through his career. You've kind of watched him grow up ever since he fought Floyd Mayweather. But all of that during your rising career. What was your thoughts? What's your thoughts of Canelo as he is today, as you've watched him grow?
I think Canelo transcended the sport for Mexicans. That's what I think. That he went to the level where it's like, I think he even got more, in my opinion. But I might be reaching for this one. So as an OG, can you tell me that's a little bit of a reach? Can you be able to tell me that?
Oh
Would you
no.
be able to say? I want to say if I'm reaching too much, I want you to tell me this,
Oh
right?
no no no!
Yeah, look what I'm gonna
K
say.
K the first words that K9 always has, if you're familiar, is that he has a whole country behind him.
Yes, but I'm talking about for Mexicans now.
Yes.
He's one of the biggest Mexican fighters that ever hit Mexico. And we talking about even with his story with Oscar De La Hoya, because Oscar De La Hoya was the golden boy, but I think Canelo's story is super past Oscar De La Hoya's story. That's what I was just saying, but that might be reaching.
No, I mean, the man is fighting now for a light heavyweight title. I mean, he's fought in four divisions. I think that he's been fortunate enough because of his status to hand pick some of his opponents. You know, but as you said, for a career and for someone that is uh, trying to take care of his family. I think he's taking care of his family for generations to come. Uh, you know, but I would have liked to see him fight Charlo or Boo Boo. I would have preferred for him to fight Benavidez or Benavidez, either one of them. But he's got that status where he has that ability to pick and choose, much like Floyd Mayweather. Um, let's talk a little heavyweights. What did you Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3? What did you think? And what do you think is in? What do you think should be Deontay Wilder's next move?
I think he's reassessing himself. I think when a fighter got to a certain point in his career, right, and he's able to have the big voice that he got, he should be able to do whatever he feel fit. I would say always go out on your own sword and on your own merit. I don't know what that look like for him, but I would just say, just know that the legacy he built came with nothing. And if he has to be willing to go back there just to keep his name there, then let it be so. But what I think what he already accomplished in his career was big. I just didn't like to see that a lot of black people didn't rally behind our brother and be the way that he's been and always, pick the side. I think we see other fans with people, they go with their race of people. I just don't understand how us as our fighters, we never rally behind them. And that's one thing that I just don't like. I just super dislike about the sport. Maybe it's just too real that it's going to be like that. But if you see like a lot of people, they always win or lose, they always support their people. And we as our people, we don't really be out there for our people like that. And I think that he had to hear a lot of strains and a lot of be his story is, he was one of the heavyweight champions in the world. He was our black heavyweight, American black heavyweight. And for me, that was like pretty big to be reach that levels being black in America, especially in the time that we living in now. That for a man to be like that, I think I think I don't think he should be able to say if he want to retire. I think he should be able to say that for his show, and I think he should be well prepared to be able to do so if he wants to.
And Tyson Fury, um, a man that large, man's got a 39-inch stool to sit on in in his corner. Uh, what do you think about him, as big as he is, having those type of skills?
Well, that's what make him special. That's why people rally around him to see him fight. I think it's special. In my opinion, and I was like looking at the guy, I was like, yeah, this is one of the best heavyweights we've seen in a long time. What makes him special is everything about him makes him such a special fighter that, it's very hard and difficult to pick sides. Hey, I'm gonna go with him. So I never, if you hear me out through my career, I never picked the fighter and say, yeah, he's gonna win, he's gonna beat this. And I think everybody's fighting for something. We don't know who's gonna win unless that person is with his hands raised up at the end of the fight. So I'm more of a fan of the fight. But it makes him a special fighter that he is. That he's able to keep going out there performing the way he do with even all the things that we can say about him.
Um, just a couple more things. I don't really want to keep you that long. I know you're on the East Coast, so it's coming up on almost 10 o'clock your time. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you about, and I don't, I think it may be more prevalent than people really. I don't want to say no, or because a lot of people tend to want to turn their eyes away, but drugs in boxing. What do you think about, uh, you know, uh, first of all, we've had some deaths recently. We've had some people that have been really badly hurt. And I'm not, specifically pointing to any specific drug, any specific trainer. But as you know, every time a fighter goes into the ring, he's actually taking his life into his hands. What do you think about, or do you think that there are a lot of designer drugs prevalent within our sport?
What I would tell you is like cheating is a mindset for people who actually want to have the upper hand on anybody. So that cheating, whatever that is, whatever enhancement you can bring to to your victory it could come with somebody's life. So I think that should be broad enough for people to understand what I'm saying. That like somebody said they can get an upper hand or they can take this vitamin. If the vitamin was like nothing, and somebody said, "Hey, you could take this vitamin and this will make you stronger." If you took that vitamin to be stronger, I think that could be used as cheating as well. I think it's just to take somebody's life in the ring. It challenges a lot of challenges a lot of the fans who watch this sport, but also just knowing that the responsibility you got as a fighter, as an athlete, we trying to shine good light on the sport that we can be one of those sports that's talked about that don't have to be like it's violent or this or they this. I think anytime a fighter, you see a fighter who's willing, go out there and fight on the edge, he fights on the edge. Usually outside of the ring, he lives on the edge. He shouldn't get a motorcycle. He shouldn't do drugs because if he's on the edge, he's just going to do everything on the edge. He's going to ride a motorcycle fast. He's going to get a fast sports car, go fast. Then that's what his life is going to be like. So I think we just always got to be self and examine ourselves and see the responsibilities we got, especially when we got other people's lives in our hand.
Uh, I want to ask you right now, who are your top three fighters, pound for pound?
Of all time or right
No,
as
no,
of right
just right now.
now. I would say definitely Canelo. I would say Tyson Fury, definitely. I would say Devontae Davis. He just moved up there to be able to, even though he still got a lot more showings to do with those quality fights that we would love to see him in. Um, there's so many fighters out there that it's hard to be picking. I think right now we living in an era where we got to see these people have the challenges, fights they do that's going to secure their legacy.
Uh, yes, I definitely think you're right, and I couldn't go with uh, those a better three than you picked. But since you mentioned it, what are your top of all time?
Oh man, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, and I'm gonna say this top five can be exchanged anytime somebody is able to put it at number one. Okay, so what I would say is Sugar Ray Robinson. I would say Muhammad Ali. I would say Floyd Mayweather. I would say Sugar Ray Leonard, and I would say Mike Tyson.
Well, hey, that's a very formidable list. Whether you count them in any order, and
Yes,
so
any honor, like
and
at any time, Floyd Mayweather can be exchanged as number one because it's so many different. Like it's a lot of things why I say Floyd Mayweather is number one because he went out on his own sword. He got to do things that the sport never seen. He made generated so much money for black men in America. So it's like so many reasons why we look at his story as being number one. But for me, like the ones that first started, like Sugar Ray Robinson being that he fought so many fights and was living in an era where it was hard to live because of racism. We think we see racism now. Thinking, man, about those times where those fighters got to live. So I would just say, that, you know, it's a lot of reason why I interchange them all with each other.
well, brother Peter, I'm happy that you took time to come to this show and be with us tonight. And I guess as you know, I'll be looking at your Instagrams and following you very closely. Uh, as I said, I know you on Clubhouse with Mr. Baker, but Brother Pete, why don't you give us your final thoughts for this evening? And we enjoyed having you on the show. Hope you
I
can
would
come
tell
back to the dog pound.
all the time. I will come back to this dog pound whenever y'all need me. I see a lot of people in the chat, and what I would tell just to answer them, Bud ain't gonna stand a chance. I do gets there. We'll see. Wilder should retire. I think that's up to Wilder to decide. What's good, boxing fan? What's up, boxing knowledge? All the love. I want to thank Dog Pound. I want to thank you for being one of those kind of guys that a conversation like this could be last. We can have this conversation forever, just the way you are, and I just tell by your energy that it's very special. And whenever we can carve out some time, whether it's me and you, conversation wise about the those that biblical knowledge, let's do it.
All right, brother. Well, hey, I got your
So
number. I got your
so
number. You got mine. We can,
yeah.
we can conversate. I have no problem with it.
I definitely we gotta put in let's put the dog himself in that conversation because I think it's very important time because I'm still a man at the God's own heart. You know what I mean? I'm out for that knowledge that I feel like applied knowledge is always better because applied knowledge is the testimony.
Thank you so much, brother. And I hope next time we can get K9 in
Yeah,
and, actually have a real fellowship
yes,
as well as a conversation.
I
But,
love that.
but thank you so much, brother Pete. I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate your energy. And I will be back in touch with you very soon.
All right, God bless. Have a nice day.
You too, sir. Have a good, God bless.
Bye bye.
For those that was Kid Brother Pete, Kid Chocolate. We enjoyed having him on the show tonight. It's a blessing when you can reach out to a champion and he will come and talk to you man to man and not give you a lot of sort of stereotypical answers. And as I said, those of you that don't follow uh, Peter Quillin on Instagram, please check it out. You can check out some of his videos, his pictures, very poignant pictures, and he's all about the community. Uh, Amazing story. As a Cuban, as a father, we all know about some of the demons that he had to fight to get to where he was. Uh, I'm expecting Mr. Hudson to come in any time now. Uh, okay. Uh, where is Vince? Uh, Let me send him a. Let me send him a text right quick here. I hope he came into. I hope he came into the new link and not the old one. Sorry about the technical difficulties that we were having earlier with Brother Pete's interview. There's the man. There's the man himself.
What's going
See,
on, champ?
what's happening?
All good, man. All good. Blessed by the best. Feeling no stress. You know the rest.
Oh man, I'm looking at your background behind you, so I know you must be in California
Yes,
because
sir. Yes,
uh,
sir. Over here at my guy Punch Out's gym.
okay,
My guy
okay.
Jonathan. Yeah, yeah. I come bring my guys over here and work out too.
Now, I know you got a lot of things going on. You got a reunion coming up soon. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. We looking at September. Uh, it's gonna be the Chicago Boxing Brotherhood Gala Awards again. And I used to have it as reunions, but now it's like I want to make sure I recognize all the fighters from Chicago from the past and the present, and so that way I can, give them their flowers before they gone.
Yeah. That I think that's important. A lot of us, like you say, getting their flowers before they're gone. So, what are some of the highlights of this year's award ceremony?
Well, at this moment, I got a lot of surprise guests that I'm working on. I don't want to say too many names until I get everything concrete and everything. But don't open them here. Every year I always have all the ex champs and everything. I'm going to the National Boxing Hall of Fame this weekend, and I got to talk with some guys there. A little bit of everybody's getting inducted out there this weekend. We got
Okay.
Sugar Ray Leonard out there, Layla Ali, Don King, my guys from Chicago, Ernie Brown, Leroy Murphy, uh, Angel Man Freddie, uh, Eva Jones. Man, we got plenty. Marvin Johnson.
Now,
Amanda Munez, Pepino Cuevas. Man, this
now,
gang
now,
up.
now, which are you doing? Is this two classes in one, like Conestoga, because of
No,
the
no, this
pandemic?
one, no, this one is out here in California. It's gonna be at Montebello, California.
Okay. Is there a big show associated with it?
I'm sorry.
I said, is there a big show associated with it, or is it just an award ceremony?
Well, they every year they always have my guy Bill Dempsey, him and his wife Linda. They've been doing this for years, and they have it's not a show. Well, I mean the whole program is beautiful, man. The way they have it all lined up and everything. And but they have the meet and greet is the day before, and that's always fabulous, man. You know, everybody gets to rub elbows with the old school fighters and everything, you know, and talk shop, man. Like never, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be a great event. But
Uh,
you know, and that's what it's about, you know. Like when we had got together at that event with Scully.
right.
It's always good to get together with the guys, and then in the process, we always work on other events. Works together with everything that we do.
Now, is this open to the public, and how can we go and possibly get tickets for it?
Oh, you know what? From what I understand, they're sold out already. Yeah, they sold out.
Oh,
Cause this year, what they're doing, this year they, you know, because of the pandemic, they canceled in the last since 2020, they haven't had it. So
right.
they got the inductees from 2020, 21, and this year.
Yeah,
So,
that's similar to what they're doing in Conestoga,
oh,
because
they're doing the same thing there,
right,
huh?
I think it was this year's and last year's class,
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, okay.
all coming together. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be quite an event too.
yeah. I didn't, you
I
know
see
that, and
some of
that's
the
what.
little ones in the background there, Vince.
Yeah, man. I got man. Come here. Yeah, I got a little crew, man. I got a little crew. Come here, Jaden. I got a little crew of guys, man. This is my future champs right here.
All
Yeah,
right, okay.
yeah, my little future champs. They just got done sparring and everything, and I had my bigger guys were out there sparring, and this is my co-trainer over here, Sebastian. He over here working with his son James. Yeah,
Okay.
we stay busy, man. You know, it's about trying to get these guys together, man, and make this next generation ready for it, man.
Well,
You
what's
know,
happening
like
out here in California as far as the amateurs?
as far as the amateurs, well, everything is from what I understand, everything is opening up a lot now, and it's a lot of different tournaments and different show fights that's coming up. Okay, champ, good work, good work, good work. Hey, your ride's up front. But it's a lot of show fights coming up. That's USA boxing, and so that's what we're getting ready for now too. I'm getting all these youngsters ready for that. And what is it? It's a couple of them in different. One in Arizona coming up. But we have a lot out here in California that's coming up too. Out here in Kern County too. Y'all hold tight back here.
Okay. Now, uh, I also saw a video of yours with the young lady.
Oh man, she just took off. She just left. Yeah, that's Eileen. Uh, she used to fight amateur out here when she was a lot younger. And okay, I'm doing something. These kids are something else, man. But
Hey, man.
yeah, she's a good fighter, man. She's all the way focused. And you know what? That's what I love to work with is when I have somebody that's really dedicated. And I mean, you know, she got she got 3 kids now and decided to come back and start fighting. But she don't let none of that hold her back from what she want to do. And I said, well, you know, from what I see, you really want to do this. So you give, like I always tell all my guys, you give me 100%, I'm gonna give you 110. You
Now,
know,
now, Vince, uh, I remember about 3 or 4 years ago,
yeah,
we had a conversation about women in boxing, and you said some things to say about you training the woman. That's why I was so intrigued when I looked up and I hear you are in a video training
man.
a
Look,
young lady.
hey, look. You
Boy,
know what? We can't never
and they
say,
and they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
man. Look, you know what? That's why you can never say never. You can never say never. You know, because times change, and then a lot of females are, man, a lot of females are fighting tougher than the guys sometimes now too, you know. Because you know, like I say, when you get somebody that's all the way focused, that's dedicated, and they give it their all, and you seeing the improvement in them, that's when it's like, hey, what can I say? You know, I gotta roll with it, you know. So that's all I can say on that, you know. Okay, I lied. I lied. Well, no, I didn't lie. I just I just didn't know what the future was holding, you know. So, like I say, we can't never say never. We just say, okay, well, at this time. So I think that's what I'm gonna start saying now. Well, at this very
at this,
moment,
at
this
this
is how I am. Yeah,
moment,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because I was at that point, man, where I was like, man, I can't see no women fighting. I was against it. You know, you hate to see a woman get beat up, because somebody gonna have to get beat up. You know, but yeah, yeah, man. But when you get somebody and you see that they qualified and they taking care of business, because I don't have any other females for her to work with, and she prefers to work with the guys I got here, and
yeah.
she has no problem with none of the hard punching or nut, man. You know, and my main thing is to work on the hit and not get hit. That's the name of the game. You know, ain't that right? Hit and not get hit, right? Yeah, but the name of the game is yeah, yeah, that's right. Name of the team is what? Champs. Yeah, champs.
Yeah.
That's right. These my little champs.
I also hear that you have a project in the works. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Uh, I have yeah, that's my project with the champs. The only race that. And it right now I'm working with young kids these guys age and a little bit older too, and it's boxing slash mentorship program. And with that, it's really been effective, man, because it's been helping these kids, you know, as far as focusing on their schoolwork and everything, and something chill out, and focusing on you know, even being better at home with their parents, because it amazes me how the parents will tell me, you know what, I got to get my kid back into the gym because he's slacking in school. And I'm like, that don't even sound right, you know. But when they get here, it's about the discipline that they start working on. And they get so dedicated toward what they're doing and wanting to do this that they are they'll sacrifice their little fun to make sure that they can come down here and get their workout in.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it's not sacrificing their fun because at this point in their life, it is fun. It hasn't
yeah,
it hasn't become uh, a requirement or a routine. Right now, they're just kids having fun,
right, right,
enjoy,
right. And
enjoying
that's where
each
you want
other.
to keep them at.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's where you want to keep them at. Yeah, because you at this age, man, that's why that's one of the main things I tell them when they even when they sparring and everything, have fun. You got to enjoy what you're doing. And that's like in life, if you don't like what you're doing, then your job is real work. And who likes to go to work? I like to go to a job where it feels like it's not work, and I enjoy going. Is you make fun out of whatever you're doing. You know, you gotta adapt to the environment. It's kind of like being in the ring, man. You gotta adapt to what's going on in there. This guy's going at you. You gotta adapt to, okay, them punches coming. I gotta get out the way, and I gotta counter, and you have fun in doing it. Like I tell these guys, we get in the tire and they go at each other, and I don't have them banging at each other's head. I have them going for each other's shoulder, but they have to move and don't let them touch you. So it helps them work on body movement because when it comes to throwing those punches, and getting out the way, uh, you have to have total body movement. It's not just moving your head over like that. You have to move that whole body up. It's coming from the hip, bending those knees a little bit. So you got to get all the way physical, man. You got to use your whole body and everything. So we have fun in that, and that's what we call tag. You know,
Now,
back in the day, man, when we were shorties, man, that was stuff like body punching. Remember we used to
yeah, that you got
body
you got.
punching. That's what I come up off of, man, and that's the stuff that we put into our boxing skills. Me and my brother Derek.
Vince, I know you remember because the, of your background, but you talk about the body punching. But you remember slap
Yeah.
boxing?
Oh yeah, big time, big time, big time. Hey, that's what we learned our speed from right there, man.
As I
You know,
see,
and moving that head, and moving that head.
I'm telling you, I mean, you don't want to go home with another man's handprint all over
Man,
you.
hey, look, you know what? You seen this thing where these guys sit there now and they sit up there in front of each other and smack each other. Man, I don't get it, man. Man, this generation is crazy, man. This generation done lost their mind, man.
Yeah, see, kind of like the Will Smith slap. You know what I mean? uh,
Yeah,
it, it, in my day, we'd have still been fighting, but
yeah,
you, you know, I got to admire Chris Rock because he was more man than I was in that particular situation.
right.
But but getting back, to provide an example for the youngsters here, uh,
Right.
and the little champs. You also mentioned education,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this is something that in our generation, well, my generation, you're a couple generations under me, but even I think in your generation,
Mm-hmm.
when when little kids went to the ring, or
Mm-hmm.
teenagers went to the gym,
Right.
it was all about the workout. It was about fighting. It was about sweating. And most of the time you went to the gym to get away from books.
Right. Right.
Nowadays, and I think it's very important. I've also talked to a brother Umar in Baltimore who has hooks before no
Uh
hooks
huh.
before books,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and programs I think like this
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that not only bring us future. Well, they might not even grow up to be boxers, but
Right. Right. Yeah. And
they
that's the
grow up
thing
and have
too.
that discipline, and they grow up
Right.
to be able to focus on a goal and have that in, intuition to be
Stop.
able to reach that goal. And it's men like you, I think, like you said, not only have you kind of changed your mind about the women boxers, but you've
Mm-hmm.
also over the years realized how important it is to be to mix that education in and not just that physical
Yeah.
value of boxing.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's real important, man. That's real important. And that's something that I implement on my kids, and I let the parents know too. Uh, I tell them, they have to bring their whenever grades come up, bring your grades up and let me see where you at. And if you slacking, I don't care how good you doing in the gym and how good you doing in the fights. If you doing what you're supposed to do, that's where the discipline come in. Okay, well you got to get punished. So no gym for you for a couple weeks, until you get your grades up, you know. And because it's not about, a lot of these trainers nowadays, they more concerned about themselves. I don't understand that either. You know, I mean, I get a joy out of seeing these kids enjoy themselves because I can go back on it and remember how I felt. I want them to feel that same feeling that I felt, back then. I don't want to sit there and throw them in there to get their head all busted up and then, uh, my main thing is to make sure that they taken care of and then that they looking out for the future, because that's what everything comes down to. They have to be prepared for the future. Now, if they go about it and just focus on just this, and this is the thing that the problem was with us when we came up, all my guys in the brotherhood, we all was like teenagers. This was the only thing we knew, and everybody's not made to be champ. Some guys are made to do. You might learn boxing and everything just to get the discipline, just to do something else, or to prepare yourself for just life skills and work atmosphere. And as far as just being a champ, if you don't make it, then what happened is the same thing that happened to a lot of my guys. They get depressed because I tell you, it could bring on depression once that bell stop ringing and the crowd stop cheering. Then you look up and be like, man, now what am I gonna do? You know, but you
Well,
didn't
yeah,
prepare yourself. So the thing is, had these kids prepared for life after boxing. So make sure that whatever you're doing, you still mapping out on what you're gonna do later on. I got a little kid, one of the little kids here already. I look at him like talking about Dre. That boy is ready to be a trainer. Already he gets with the other kids and he can instruct. It's funny that he can instruct so well with them, and some of the things that I want to see him do, he could tell it, but he can't implement it himself. But he's still a work in progress. All right, coach.
I won't be back until Friday. I got school tomorrow.
Okay.
Thursday.
Okay, champ. All right, champ. Good work. Good work.
Good work.
All right, yeah. But yeah, man, that's what it's about, man. It's about our future, man. And these are our future right here. All right, champ, good work. Get right up. All right, at R12. R12.
now
Yeah,
you
we
got
hit
any
yeah, everybody done left me now. But
uh
it's all good.
you got any shows coming up? Any guys?
Matter
I
of
know the
fact, we
last time I
do.
talked to you, yeah.
We got something coming up. We got a possible bouts in Arvin coming up May 7th. Yeah, May 7th. Now
Man,
that's the day of the Canelo fight, right?
right.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's that
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah.
K9 might have a show in
Coach,
Michigan
yeah,
also.
Coach Daniel had K9. Where is he at?
Uh, he had a headache today from the gym, so he was a little under the weather.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was thinking of or planning to have a show May 7th in Detroit.
Oh, really?
And we're still
Hmm.
hoping to get some of the fighters off of that card.
Yeah.
So you have you say Ogden?
Arvin. Arvin.
Oh, Arvin. Okay, I thought you were saying. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Utah. I'm like, okay, so, but
No, no, you know I'm in Cali, man. I'm in Cali. Yeah,
so
so Arvin is out here in Kern County. Yeah, out
okay,
here where I'm at. Yeah, but yeah, that's just one of the things coming up that I got them getting ready for. But besides that, uh, it's I looked it up and I seen where it's a lot of shows coming up, and I want to get these guys on it. Uh, and then I got one guy that I'm gunning to see how he do throughout the end of this year and see how he does like through the beginning of next year. And depending on where his head is at, he possibly may be turning pro.
okay. Any Chicago prospects we should be thinking about?
Uh, ooh, you know what? I don't know the name of a lot of these, but I know my guy Rick Ramos has a female that he's turning pro. She just won the gloves back there. I'm sorry, I don't even know her name right off her hand, but I know I put it on my Chicago Boxing Brotherhood page. Man, forgive me for not being being on my toes on that. I got a lot of stuff I've been trying to deal with right now too. Right now
uh,
I'm in the process right now, like with my program. I'm in the process of opening up a gym, and
oh,
that's going to be the champions program there.
eh,
And
where's that gonna be
right now
located?
it's like the gym I'm at now. I'm at a friend of mine's gym, which is in his backyard, and then I train my guys over at this fitness club, R12 Fitness Club in Bakersfield, and so it's like I feel like the lady in the shoe. You know, I got my crew of kids, and I take them over here to eat. I take them over there to eat. I got to find a house. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm patient, and I'm blessed to have good parents that trust in me, and they know I'm looking out for the kids. They know I'm trying to do the right thing for them, and looking at them prospering in everything they do.
uh,
It's coming
uh,
together, man. I'm patient.
I'm glad you mentioned your parents, Vince, because we know that you take care of your parents. And how are things going on that front?
Right now it's going great, man. I can't complain. Don't make things no better. But yeah, we lost my dad, Rudolph Hudson, champ. We lost him February 6th. So and I had moved back in with my mom and dad to help my mom with him. He had
Right.
dementia. And so right now it's just me and my mom, but she's going out to the Hall of Fame with me too. And
Okay.
so she's gonna start making them trips again. She used to work. She used to work our corners. She was at all the fights. She used to even video some of my fights. But
Hey, man.
it's good to be able to be in a position to be with my parents at this late stage of life. You know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to still have her here. But
Yeah.
yeah, right now everything's going well. She's doing a lot better, because I mean they were together like 60, 64, 63 years. And
Unheard
that's a
of.
long time, man, to be with the same person. And then
Unheard of
uh
in this day and age.
yeah, yeah, it is. It is. It's unheard of nowadays, man. Hey man, hey, I tell you, man, my marriage lasted what, 2 months? That's on the real. And right now I'm like, man, I'm just focused on me and just trying to do whatever is in front of me, man, that needs to get done. you
Yeah,
know.
but you've always realized the importance of family, and you've always brought that sense of camaraderie wherever you've been. Uh,
Yeah.
so, Vince, I enjoy talking with you, man. I know it's about time. You say everybody's left you, so I know it's about time you wanted to have a little time for yourself. Uh,
Oh
probably,
yeah. Oh
probably,
yeah.
probably grab a bite to eat, like I'm gonna do as soon as I get off of
Yes, sir.
here.
Yes,
You know?
sir.
But
Yes, sir.
why don't
Hey,
you?
yeah, man. You know what? I'm gonna have to call K9 too, cause what I'm gonna end up doing with the champs program, I'm gonna get with my guys in Chicago, cause I'm going out there for my 60th birthday in July, and we're gonna talk it over and see about cause once I get the program going here the way it needs to, I want to take it out to Chicago,
Okay.
and then from there, uh, you know, have some of our guys from here come out to Chicago, go against some of them guys, and then the guys from there come out to California and give these kids travel time. Some of them not able to make it to the nationals and stuff. But all of them, I want them to be able to enjoy, some travel time and get some fun, some real fun out of this.
Uh,
And really enjoy it.
Vince, just in case you didn't know, we got some guys, some little kids down here in Southern California too.
Oh man, okay. Well, we got to connect, man.
You know, hey, San Diego. I mean, we got a fair
Oh
amount of
yeah,
champs down here.
oh yeah, yeah.
L.A.
Well, this is just dealing with the Champions program through the Chicago Boxing Brotherhood. Though. I just want this organization to be able to know that coming into this, they'll be able to travel. You know,
and
because a lot of them
and
out here haven't seen Chicago, and a lot of them out there never seen California.
and also, we have a couple up and coming youngsters up in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
You know,
man, yeah. We got to connect on that. We got to
so
connect on that.
yeah, so I mean, you talk about traveling. Hey, Minnesota, Southern California, Nevada. I mean, Texas. Endless possibilities, Vince.
Trust me, man. All of this is gonna happen, man. Cause that's what I'm gunning for, man. That's what I'm gunning for, man. And that's
Yeah,
what it's about, man. Is giving them something to shoot for, giving
yeah.
them kids something to shoot for.
Like I said, even if they don't go to be uh, boxers, they will be fighters in life, and that's what's
Hmm.
important. To always have that feeling of never being given up, always
Yeah.
trying to strive and get forward. Uh, Vince, you want to give us your final thoughts and tell everybody where they can give you on social media?
Yeah. You can catch me on Vince Rock Hudson on Facebook and on Instagram, and follow my page, Chicago Boxing Brotherhood Incorporated, on Facebook. And well, as far as the final thought, man, I just look at uh, the way we.
Hold on. I knew I was forgetting something. What were your thoughts on last week's fight, Errol Spence?
Oh man, that was. I thought it was good, man. When I where I went to go see it, I couldn't hear none of the commentary, and it's the first time I did that, and I like that though, because I got to really hear and see what I was seeing. And I'm gonna tell you, from what I was seeing, the start of it, I was kind of nervous uh for
Errol?
Spence.
Okay.
Yeah, because he came out and I was like, oh, it seemed like something was a little bit, just a little bit off. It was like he was kind of like a little bit off, like he was trying to feel himself. And I was like, okay, but he'd be all right. And it scared me in that ninth round when he got caught, and then all of a sudden he let the mouthpiece go like, oh, he did one of them numbers. Is that my mouthpiece? You know, I was like, oh no, wait a minute. But yeah, he got warmed up, man, and when he went to go finish everything off, yeah, he was toned up good. But yeah, I tell you what, that's gonna be a good fight with him and Crawford. That's gonna be an excellent bout.
Okay. Now, I want you to put your trainer's hat on because for the next couple of minutes, if you were training Bud, what would you do after watching this last fight?
Wait, say that again.
If you were training Bud Crawford, what would you do
If I
to
was training
train?
Crawford,
Yes,
okay. And what would I do? Work with him to get to Spence?
yes,
Uh, well, the first thing I tell him, I would have him jump on him early. Spence takes time in getting warmed up. And it's not like just since the accident. Spence has always been like that, you know. And I would have him just lead out, and uh, I would have him come out as a southpaw. Because you know he switches up and he's excellent on both sides. I would have him come out as a southpaw, and if it's not working, go to the other side. But being extremely aggressive, you know, and I don't mean by coming out just throwing punches. No, you be aggressive by picking at a person with that one, you know, irritating them with that jab, you know, and because that's what Spence does the same thing once he gets warmed up. That's how he gets to folks. He pick at them with the jab and set them up for bringing that two in on 'em. But I would have him just being extremely aggressive on him at the start. And the way Crawford is, man, Crawford can get hot, man, and go crazy on you early. You know, he could probably catch him before he even get warmed up and do a little something. But you know, I like both guys, man. And that fight right there is like a toss up to me, man. It's like a toss up, man. So I really don't know who will take that one.
well, it's a
Who
fight.
you got on? What would you do? What would you have him do?
Well, like you said, I'd have him jump on him early,
Uh-huh.
and I would definitely check out his movement. I would move
Uh-huh.
and check out and see, whether or not he's actually following me, and
Right.
try to see if if there's a weakness in the vision. But I would definitely, I think and it's probably because of the competition, but I think
Uh-huh.
it's something that Crawford could do. But I would definitely work on his body because I've never seen nobody attack his body.
Right. 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 Right.
You know, so
Yeah, you
so
right. You right.
so let's see what's up.
Yup.
you
See
know,
what he got down there.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
look like he look like he stays in good shape though. But
yeah,
yeah, it don't matter how good your body look, man. You
yeah,
know
yeah.
that solar plex, that's a
That
muscle
solar,
you cannot harden up.
the solar plex and that liver shot.
Yup, yup.
you
That's
know,
guaranteed money right there.
yeah, so
That's guaranteed.
yeah, so I'd have him jump on that body real quick, especially if he's a slow starter. But
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely.
but hey, Vince,
Yeah.
always good chopping it up with you, my man. I hope
Man, you know it's always my pleasure, and I always love speaking with you, my brother. That's
all right,
real. Yeah,
all
and
right,
tell
brother.
that dog, man, I miss him, man. I miss my dog today, man. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah,
K9 all day.
because none of us can bark like the dog. That's
No, can't nobody bark like we sound like poodles.
yeah, I know little chihuahuas or something
Yeah,
out
sound like a little chihuahua or something. He got that straight growl roof.
there.
I
Yeah,
don't know,
I
man.
know you got hair, you know. Hey man,
Yeah, he the only one can handle that.
I'm telling you. Hey man, uh, love you, brother. Though you
All
have a
right,
great
man.
night, man, and I'll talk to you soon.
For sure, champ. All right, man.
All right,
Peace.
peace. uh, Great little show tonight. Only two guests, but Kid Chocolate, Champ, and really a man of peace and a lot of spirituality. Uh, Love both our guests. Hope that K9, I hope that you're doing better next week. We can get you on, and as you can see, the fans miss you. And hey, you can find me at uh, James E. King on the third, that is, on Facebook, West Coast Steeler fan, on Twitter, and our Cash App there, JE King 3. Be sure to subscribe and donate. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to everybody next week. Y'all have a great night.